Alright guys, Delzinski here. I've already covered this subject before, but I feel that I've got to cover it again. Because we're talking TNA, Total Non-Stop Action. Or as I like to call it at the moment, Total Non-Stop Awful. Because that is what you're doing. That's what you're doing to me, TNA. You're making me feel that your product is awful. It's your fault that I feel this way, not mine. You know, I told you guys in my last video, I'll leave a link in the description box below, that I feel disillusioned by this product. I have no idea where their direction is. And I don't get why they chose to get rid of wrestlers that really have been good servants to the company and guys that they should be trying to retain. But today I came across an interview with the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, and he began to give me a bit of an insight in what TNA is trying to do. So let's give you some quotes and some extracts from this interview. So Christopher Daniels was asked, when did he realise that his contract wouldn't be renewed? Daniels goes on to say, I didn't know until the day that they told me. I went in to speak to TNA officials at the last booking that I had, which was a taping for one of the one night only pay-per-views on April 12th. That was when I found out. I didn't know before then. I kind of assumed because me and Frankie Kazarian were still an entertaining tag team and our wrestling spoke for itself, I thought they were going to renew, but I was wrong. So here's a guy that TNA had dropped the ball with before. They let him go, then they brought him back, only to then let him go again. Here's a guy who's been a good servant for TNA. Here's a guy that has given it all for TNA. And here's a guy that is in a tag team that is pretty much super over in terms of TNA. The Bad Influence. When I went to the UK tapings here at Wembley, one of the acts I was most looking forward to seeing was The Bad Influence. And they didn't disappoint. They entertained the hell out of me. And this is the sort of guys you're letting go. By the sounds of it, this guy thought he was having his contract renewed. And you dropped the ball. Why? To replace him with what? The menagerie? Really? And this is what I don't get. I'd understand if you let guys go like this. If you had a jam-packed roster, I'd understand if you had serious backups that you wanted to bring in and push forward. But you don't. These are your top guys that you're letting go. It goes on. It goes on. The next question. Had you been in any negotiations with TNA? I talked to them for the first time at lockdown. That's a long time ago. And they told me that they wanted to speak to me face to face. I was then off television for a month. So the next time I got to talk to them was at the one night only pay-per-view. So I had no idea until then. They pretty much just told me that they were going in a different direction with different people. Different people? Different people? What? Mike Knox? Different? Nux? What? Different people? Rob Terry? Different people? Bobby Lashley? What are you doing? These aren't different. Mike Knox. Mike Knox. No one cares about you. You could be repackaged 1,000,000 times. We still wouldn't care. Bobby Lashley, in it for the money. He's not done anything relevant. Okay, you'll probably say to me, he's joined MVP and Kenny King. So what? I still don't think he warrants a spot over a Christopher Daniels. Rob Terry, a guy you've dropped the ball with so many times it's unreal. Paired up with Robbie E. You know, and now he's called The Freak. The Freak. The Freak. The Freak. The freak is that you can't get this right, TNA. You keep getting it wrong. And you know what the best bit of this interview is? I haven't even approached that bit yet. The question was asked, is Christopher Daniels interested in Jeff Jarrett's new promotion, GFW, Global Force Wrestling? He goes on to say, I figure that anything that Jeff puts his mind to when it comes to creating a promotion has the potential to be very formidable in terms of the landscape of pro wrestling. Just look at what he did with TNA. If he has the right people behind him when it comes to finances, then Jeff is creative enough to make something happen. So it's definitely on my radar. Just like I think it's on everyone's radar at this point. Everyone's just waiting to see what exactly happens with Global Force Wrestling and what's it going to be. We have to see where it is, what it is, and who is going to be involved. And Jeff is starting to answer those questions slowly but surely. So does that not give you any idea of what is going down, TNA? You are letting go these prime time talent, and they are going to go to the competitor. And all it takes is for Jeff Jarrett to get a TV deal. That's all it takes. And you will be no more. Vamoose. Nothing. Nada. Done. Deaded. Finished. Finito. Kaput. That's it, TNA. You don't get it. You don't understand what you're doing. You've given Jeff Jarrett the opening. You've released guys like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Chris Sabin, Frankie Kazarian. Who's next? Austin Aries? These guys are going to go Jeff Jarrett's wrestling company. And they'll probably make a success out of it. I can't believe you're that naive, TNA. I can't. It upsets me and it frustrates me. I go to your product every year when you come over here and you do this stupidity. What am I going to see when it comes round to January next year? I don't want to see these imbeciles like the Menagerie. What you got left? Bobby Roode? Dare I say it, Eric Young? I mean, yeah, Eric Young. Shit. I've already made a video about how annoyed I am, but this interview really does enlighten people to what is going on at TNA at the moment. You've got guys like Christopher Daniels thinking their contract's going to be renewed, and they've shafted him. They've dropped him. So just imagine what it was like with AJ Styles, because if I remember rightly, he had the same opinion as well. He was under the impression that he was staying. He was under the impression that he would get the deal that he thought was right. And they dropped the ball, or they just literally screwed him over and said, because we're going in a different direction. Different should mean good. Different should not mean stupid. I don't get this company at the moment. And I don't know what you're doing. And I can't understand anybody that's going to defend this at the moment. Let me know via the comments box below. If you can justify this and put up a good argument, I would love to see it. Now, I've seen Bobby Lashley, MVP, Kenny King be paired up this week on TNA Impact Wrestling. Good for Kenny King. Bobby Lashley, meh, couldn't care less. But I'll put it to you again. Does this not feel like some sort of cheap ripoff from the WWE? Evolution? A faction? 3 members fighting Daniel Bryan? MVP? Bobby Lashley? Kenny King? Now taking on Eric Young? Ring a bell or two? Just concerns me how similar these two products are becoming. And it feels like one seems to be taking hints from the other. Holy crap, man. Sort this out. Get it together, because if you don't, Jeff Jarrett is snapping at the heels to take your TV spot from Spike. It's worrying. You don't even have a secure arena at the moment to host your shows, and albeit when you did have that in Orlando, the crowds have disintegrated. You don't have a home anymore. You can't afford to be on the road anymore. You better hope that these shows in New York can turn things around. Otherwise, you guys are coming to the end of the road yourselves. And that is a travesty for a company that should be flourishing with the talent that they had. Important word. Had. Sort it, TNA. Do the right things. Restructure your company. Work out who the top guys are. Get them in the positions that you need to. When you hear interviews like this, and you see quite clearly that these superstars and these talent believe they're getting their contracts renewed, and you do a 360 on them and flip them off, that's a worry. And all the time, Jeff Jarrett is thinking, tick, 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 just another one to add to my roster. Guys, talk to me. Justify these ridiculous decisions by TNA. Make me see the light. Tell me how they can make this better, because I can't see it. I want to know your views. You can tell it annoys me. It frustrates me. It should never have got this bad. And all I keep playing through my head is the bullshit that is the menagerie. That sums up TNA at the moment. Damn you. Let me know via the comments box below. I want to hear your views about TNA Impact Wrestling. When you hear an interview like this, how does this make you feel as a TNA Impact Wrestling fan? Does it give you any sort of belief in this company? It's a very hacked off Delzinski saying, please rate, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Delzinski. Damn it, TNA. Sort it out. This is Delzinski. Signing out.